So interestingly, Substack has been very interesting. I like the perspectives that has been given to me. So yes, today we'll be going on another 15 minutes. The timer has started. And today's topic is by Feifei. And please, if it's not meant for me, let me stop yearning for it. One of the things I will not admit to most people who know me is how desperately, deeply, embarrassingly, I want to be loved. Not liked, admired, or respected. Though I want these things too, I mean loved. I want to be loved the way rain loves the ground. I want to be wanted the way a drowning person wants air. I want to be loved the way a sailor loved the shore after months at sea, with his whole body with relief so deep it becomes indistinguishable from gratitude. I want to be someone's first language, not something they learned, not something they translated themselves into, but something they were born already knowing how to speak. I want to be wanted the way the earth wants the sun, angled towards the warmth without even deciding to. I want to be someone's gravity, the thing they orbit without choosing to, the thing that pulls without demanding, the thing that only notice when they try to move away from it. I want to be wanted the way a song wants to be finished, like there is no version of this story that makes sense without me in it, like something would be permanently incomplete, permanently unresolved, permanently reaching for a note it cannot find. I want to be loved the way fire loves oxygen. I want to be loved like the last page of a book someone never wanted to finish. And I don't know how to say that to people. I don't know how to say any of it. So mostly, I don't. There's something who is very good. There's someone who is very good at not needing things visibly, who has learned through various means and at various points in their life that to need something is unattractive, that to want is weakness. The one who is always fine, always sorted, always giving rather than asking, always the person other people come to rather than a person who comes to others. I know that person intimately. I have been that person for so long that sometimes I forget it was ever a choice. You get so good at not saying what you really want to say that eventually you stop feeling like you're withholding it. You just walk around with this quiet, persistent ache, living somewhere underneath everything. Underneath the work, ambition, friendships, and most of the time you barely notice it. Most of the time, life is full enough that it stays quiet. Then something small happens. Maybe a lyric to a song, a scene in a book where someone is loved so specifically, so completely, that you feel it in your body and then immediately feel the absence of it in your body. A couple on the street doing nothing remarkable, just existing together, and something in you recognizes what that is. Grieves it quietly and moves on before anyone can see. Those are the moments the ache surfaces. Those are the moments you feel the full weight of what you have been not saying. I have spent a long time substituting books, music, poetry, art. I have lived inside these things the way other people live inside relationships. Fully, gratefully, with the kind of devotion that borders on desperate. And they have given me so much. They have truly given me so much. But there are nights when a song ends and the silence that follows feels very loud. When I close a book and come back to the room and the room is just a room with nobody in it who choose to be there because of me. When the poem that feels like it understood me a moment ago now just feels like words on a page written by someone else about their own longing. And I am still here, still in mind. And poetry is not a hand and music is not a person. And no song, however perfect, has ever held anyone. I don't know how long art can substitute for being wanted. I don't know if there is an answer to that question that isn't just, it can't, not fully, not forever. And that is not a criticism of art, which I love more than anything. It is just an honest, admission that there are things that the human body needs that cannot be delivered through music or words. You need presence, touch, warmth, and a look from someone who decided you are worth staying. I know what I want. I just don't always know what to do with the wanting. I have prayed for the wanting to mean something, for the ache to be pointing somewhere real, towards something or someone that actually exists and is actually coming. I have hoped that the longing is not random, that it is not just my nervous system is firing, producing desire for something that was never on its way to me, that it means something that I want this so specifically, so consistently, so thoroughly. But I have also reached the point of just wanting to know one way or the other. I don't want to stay in a waiting room where I cannot tell if what I'm waiting for is on its way or was never coming at all. If it is coming, I want to be ready for it. I want to still be open when it arrives, not closed off and guarded, and so exhausted from the waiting that I can no longer recognize the thing I was waiting for. But if it isn't, if this particular kind of love is not part of what my life is going to contain, then I want to be released from the wanting. I want to stop reaching in that direction. I want to be able to sit with a beautiful song and just hear music, to read a love story and just enjoy the story, to see two people existing tenderly together and feel warm for them rather than the complicated grief for myself. I want to want differently, or I want to stop wanting like this altogether, because this reaching, this yearning, this hoping in the dark is not something a person can sustain indefinitely without it costing them something. If it is not coming, let me stop waiting for it. If it's not for me, let me stop making every warm thing for the beginning of it. Let me find a way to be whole inside the life I actually have, rather than perpetually leaning towards the life I imagine. Let me stop substituting, or let me be given the real thing. One or the other. Just please. Not this in between forever. Not this one thing that never arrives anywhere. Not this reaching into a silence that doesn't reach back. This is the thing I will never admit to anyone who has met me. Until now, I suppose, to over 32k strangers on the... And yeah, so I guess a quick summary of what this is. It seems like a very nice way of describing the feeling of being loved. I think it is a very deep and nice articulation. Personally, I like how descriptive this essay is. I liked the articulation of how Feifei wants to be loved. The description of wanting to be loved, the way rain loves the ground, the way a drowning person wants air, and the way a sailor loves the shore after months at sea. The way she wants to be someone's first language, not something they learned, but just something they want with every fiber of their bone. And I think that this is a very beautiful essay in terms of how it recognizes the need and the desire to be really in love, because I think it just really articulates what love is. Love is just a pure feeling. It is not a state of transaction. It is not a state of the matter of the mind, but rather it is a state of the heart. And I would say that this is something that I think that a lot of people can relate to. It is possible to find love through music. It is possible to find love through art, but you can never find or fully replace it through language. And you can only probably find it through a person, through presence, through touch, and through warmth. In my personal experience, music always had a way of delivering love, but there's always something missing, There's always the act of being present with someone, something that physical companionship can never replace fully. And so I think that is really very beautiful. It just put into words a lot of very interesting topics and a lot of interesting artistic expressions into this whole essay, that I find it very important for individuals to read this. I will just read some of the comments since I do have some time. Someone said, "You have described me perfectly," and she almost started to cry. Someone said, "This feels like a sister to your previous essay. Do not yearn for me. But still, why have we romanticized something painful like yearning? And anticipation never quenched. Doesn't that feel unfair?" Someone said, "The gap between knowing what your heart deeply desires and having to question if you'll ever experience it is the worst kind of heartbreak a lover can experience." Someone said, "This whole essay equates to what I feel. For example, I'm going through grief that equates to the other side of me, past wanting love. I feel like holding this desire is so depressing that it can take away parts of myself until I open this app and an individual like you writes my vulnerability." I find it very amazing how some people are able to put these thoughts into words. They make it so complete, so beautiful. And it is, in itself, I would say, very descriptive. Like the analogies they use are very impactful, are very descriptive, they're very concise, and I think the beauty of Feifei's, in particular, her work, is how she's able to really bring out the emotions. Like another one that I read of hers was something else. I forgot what it was. I forgot the title. Okay, it's probably one of the first few things that I read. But yeah, I just think that it is really amazing. Like, I think that the words and the description is all really very powerful, and I personally really enjoy reading it. And I probably should go and reflect a little bit more. Think about why this topic matters to me, and just write some of my own thoughts out. I probably can write something, probably 50% as well as her, but I think with every single person's writing comes in a certain level of beauty. So perhaps this is a sign for you to go and try and write your thoughts down, pen your thoughts down, and potentially there could be something that you'll find useful when you're looking back at yourself 5 years from now. I think I should have about 30 seconds left. That's all I have for today, and I guess I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.